Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about The Gentleman, and this movie is directed by Guy Ritchie, and it came out in 2019, and I enjoyed the movie overall. I wasn't wild about it or crazy or anything like that. I felt as though the first half was a bit of a drag, and I didn't really care all that much as to what was going on, but as the movie went along, it kind of figures out what it wants to be and just becomes a good movie. And I think part of the reason why I wasn't that attached to the first half of the movie, and this issue kind of goes throughout the entire movie, is that I think the movie is kind of poorly paced and it's really slow, and there's plenty of scenes that are drawn out. And to balance everything out, I was watching this movie on Netflix at 1.5 times speed just to get through it, because at first I wasn't enjoying it that much, but in doing that, the pacing felt normal, and I was much more into it, and I was understanding what was going on, and as the movie went along, it got more interesting because the plot. There's more going on in the plot, and you realize that it's a much bigger story than it was when it first started, and it just gets more and more interesting. And one thing that I'll say about it is that although I wasn't super into it this time watching it, I do feel as though I will enjoy it much more on a second watch now that I know what it is. And I'm just going to get into some of the things that I liked about it. I thought some of the chase scenes in this movie were really fun, and they were like the best part of the movie for me. And it's when our main characters are going after some guy's phone because they took pictures that they don't want people to see, and he just goes running after this guy, and it's a lot of fun. And watching it in 1.5 times speed and watching him move like boop, 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 boop. It's kind of funny to me, and it was never super distracting, like characters talking really fast, and I was able to keep up because I had subtitles on, and I can read subtitles at a decent speed, and I was never lost, and it was always a lot of fun. It was like the whole movie was kind of an action scene, and it made it a lot of fun. I liked the performances in this movie, and I also enjoyed the style that the movie was going for, and it did feel like a Guy Ritchie movie, like Snatch, and it reminded me of that a lot. And I do think this movie is better than Snatch, personally. Snatch I wasn't really that big into, but I reviewed that movie already, so if you want to hear my thoughts on it, then go check that out. But this movie was much better for me, and I found the story to be more interesting. Even though it is kind of similar tonally, I just get more out of it, personally. I also thought that the comedy was pretty funny in the movie, and that's one of the things that kept me going, is that it was a pretty funny movie when it wanted to be. And there was never a moment in this movie where I felt that it was being restrained, and it just did whatever it wanted, and that's the type of movie that I like. A movie that is not restrained in the slightest and just does whatever it wants, and no restrictions are placed on it, and that's what I like, and I'll give the movie props for that, and I would like to encourage more movies to be like this. Not in terms of tone or experience, but just don't put any restriction. Like, I don't want to feel as though the experience that I'm getting from a movie to feel as though it's being restrained, and even if it is restraining itself, I don't want to feel as though it's doing that to make more money or appeal to a bigger audience. I want the experience to feel as though it was going for this from the beginning, and it just goes with it, and it never holds back, and you get the whole experience from it, just feeling natural. Sorry if I didn't really explain that too well, but in my head, it makes perfect sense, but when it comes to saying it, sometimes it gets a little lost. So, hopefully that made sense. I thought the music choices felt appropriate, and it did feel as though, like, it felt like it was a choice that was made by the director, or, like, something that complemented the tone of the movie, and It never felt distracting to me, and it was well done. I also enjoyed how the plot slowly reveals itself, and as it goes along, you learn more and more and more about what's going on, and it's always fun to watch, and that's more of what I like about it. And I can't really say much else about the movie because I don't want to spoil anything, but all in all, I think this is a good movie. I might seem as though I'm rating this quite low for being fairly positive for the most part, but this is just my first viewing, and I will be watching this movie again. I do think it is worth checking out for a second time, and my rating could change when I see it for a second time, so just keep that in mind. This is only a review of me watching it once. And because of that, there's only so much I can say about the movie and my own personal experience and what I get out of it. Just to make everything clear as to why I'm rating it the way that I will in just a second. But overall, it's a good movie. I would recommend that you check it out. And with all that being said, I'm going to give The Gentleman a 6 out of 10. Could go up later when I rewatch it, but that'll just have to wait until that happens. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of The Gentleman, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Scream 4 or Scriphorum, however you want to say this. One of those two. I'm probably going to go with Scriphorum when I review it. So, anyways, until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.